Welcome to Podheim, Jirok's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is November 14th, 2023. I'm your host, Jirok the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Shield Maiden, Morning Darkness.
Hello.
Howdy. We also have Viking Vaste.
Hi.
Vaste, it's okay to move, you know.
No. I will do the challenge about doing a podcast.
This is the Frozen Challenge. And joining us, we haven't seen in a little while on the podcast.
It's so long.
Jarl Tolus.
Hello, mother lovers.
So good to have you with us again, Tolkus.
Mm-hmm.
And our Digi Vaste is no longer Digi. He is just pretending not to move over there as best he can. Let's see. Before we get into all the juicy stuff today, MD, can you give us a little preview what we're going to talk about today?
Absolutely. There are so many things to cover today. So first off, how the Valheim updates and how Iron Gate kind of dropped the ball.
Yeah, big time.
How Ark Survival Ascended is a next level survival game.
Mm-hmm.
Adventures in Return to Moria. Thoughts on the Enshrouded demo. Pax Dei alpha testing starting today. Yeah.
I can't wait for it to finish recording right now so I can go check it out.
Exact same, and more.
Yeah. Vaste, you got in too, didn't you?
I'm on it.
Oh, you're on it. You're probably playing right now while we're recording the podcast, aren't you? Tolkus, you didn't get into the alpha testing for that game, did you?
Which game?
Pax Dei?
Nope.
Okay. Well, before we get into the juicy content, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my supporters out there on Patreon and YouTube membership. And I also want to thank those of you who donate during my live streams. Actually, since I've been live streaming more, a few people have been donating, which is awesome. I kind of forget that feature existed until you see somebody donate and it pops up on the screen. Thank you so much, everybody. It really means a lot. But also, the holidays are right around the corner, so why not get yourself or someone you love some cool merch? And let's see, I lost my link here. Here we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Why did my thing change? Oh, wait, there we go. Oh no, early MD pictures.
I was going to say, wait a minute, what am I doing there?
Well, yeah, so the holidays are right around the corner, so I've reorganized my merch store. And, you can get, through November, you guys can get 10% off if you use code YULE10. You get 10% off of everything. So I've got all the cool stuff. They give them the business, what you can see, give them the business right here. See, give them the business. You get to give them the business shirt too, of course. You can get love from all the different, Wolf loves you and skeletons and different things. Or what about a giant mouse pad? Let's see. Giant mouse pad I got right here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's on my desk.
Oh, nice.
But also I have this fun Viking holiday design. So
nice.
If that I can't, mine should be here in about a week. So
All right.
Maybe you'll wear that for the next podcast. That'll be fun.
Cool.
But yeah, also if if this stuff doesn't look like something that you want to get for yourself or someone else, but you love Viking stuff, why not go to Grimfrost? They have, historical things and modern Viking stuff. A lot of cool things that are based on archaeological finds, so they're really good reproductions. I actually have a lot of Grimfrost stuff myself.
They have cool stuff.
So much. You might remember if you've seen my podcast in the past, I actually made a Halloween costume, not this year, but the previous year, last year, I did a Halloween, full Halloween costume with a Viking outfit. And a lot of that stuff came from Grimfrost. But let's see. Personal updates is our next section. I hope you guys like this. It's funny. What do you guys think? So check this out. Before we talk about our personal updates, some people, we get really nice comments where people comment about whatever we share about ourselves, right? And every once in a while, somebody puts in the comments, blah, blah, blah. They just talk about themselves and nothing gaming related for like an hour. And they call this crap content. It's like, hey, it's a podcast. We're people. We're sharing our lives with you and our love of gaming and Valheim and everything, other games. If you like it, we love having you and, listening and watching and making comments. If you don't like it, click off. There's other things on YouTube to watch. I think there's a few other things on YouTube to watch, right? Just a few.
Or show the podcast to people you do not like. We take them too.
Or just skip forward,
Well,
we do we still do timestamps?
No, I don't always have time to put timestamps on all of them. But yeah, if there's anybody out there who does listen to the whole thing and you want to, just keep track and add timestamps to a comment, I'll go ahead and pin that comment right to the top for you. And that'll help everyone else find, the topic they want to talk about.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't want to listen to us blab about our lives. And you might notice a new thing. I've got some of my ads. They'll cycle in and out right underneath my pictures just to remind people for the links. Because I actually have been getting people asking me, where's the link? And I say, well, it's in the description. But now it'll just once in a while cycle throughout the screen a couple of different sponsors of mine. Hopefully not too obtrusive here. But MD, I'm looking at the notes on our script and you have a huge block of personal updates because we haven't done a podcast in it's been almost a month, right? So, oh, you're muted.
Yeah, she's having a birthday party out.
Yes, it is my son's birthday today, so there is quite. Yes, baby G. It was 3 years ago today that I finally ended my 53-hour saga of labor.
Oh, wow.
I was actually in a D&D game having contractions.
Oh, while you're playing.
Darling, we need to go to the hospital. I have to throw the dice here.
No, actually, initially I had planned on giving birth at home. And then after 53 hours, it turned out that I did have to go and get an emergency C-section. But everything was fine. Everything was healthy. Everyone was good. So, but I had intended on doing everything at home. Like I had a birthing pool set up in the dining room, and we were ready to go. But all of that being aside, I will try my best to kind of churn through this. I've been doing a lot of content creation on Twitch, a lot of playing games. I've been doing a community run of Return to Moria. I've been doing cake parties and playing Palea with the community as well. I've been doing a biome build challenge in Valheim with Decor. And right now we have decided to build a massive mountain castle before we kill Mudar. So that's exciting.
Nice.
I am doing a new no map run in Valheim with Legion and a dear friend of mine who also has been on with me with a number of adventures. So you'll see pictures of Kit Kat or Kuryami-chan.
Is that the first time doing no map for any of those other players?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I have several members of the community who are wanting to join. So this week on Friday, I will be inviting more people to join us for the no map run. So it's just going to turn into chaos. It's going to be great. I'm so excited.
Vaste, what do you think of no map?
I hate it.
You failed it? Amazing.
No, I straight up won't do it ever. I don't
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
Did you ever try it?
Yeah.
And you hated it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Got
Even I don't have the patience to keep track of everything, and I end up messing up myself and getting lost on my own.
What about you, Tolus? Do you like no map?
Not necessarily. Like I prefer no portals. That's what I
think Vaste hates no portals also.
I definitely being the nature of a mom, I cannot do no portals. Like I need to.
When this evolved, we had the portal hub in Naomi, then we had to make a second portal hub because the first one couldn't fit anymore, and then it's
there's hundreds of portals everywhere on the server.
Just look like those pictures when they show like on the news. Oh, look, this is traffic in New York. And there's like this big mess of roads all over the place. And I look at this like, holy crap! Oh, no.
Well,
what to do? So many roads, no one is moving. What's happening?
Yeah.
I love Portalia. I made it. I love it. I want
You can keep it. Thank you.
Well, so what else has been going on over there, MD?
Oh, geez. I got into Pax Dei. Okay, so officially alpha. So the alpha, I got into Pax Dei, although I didn't. Okay, so everyone in my group, so we had a group of about like 50 or 80 people who used my group friend code to get into Pax Dei, and my group was chosen. My group was definitely chosen. So a bunch of people have been getting their acceptance emails, including one of my friends who was like, I leave out of country today. And I was like, I still haven't gotten an email. Can I have your code?
That's so weird. You started the group, right?
No, my husband started the group. My husband got the friend code.
The invite.
Yeah, he got the invite. Smithy got the invite. All kinds of people got the invite. You got the invite.
I got your friend code too, and I got.
You did. I recall you used my friend code. So we have a dedicated section in my Discord that has the people who want to join the clan. I'm proposing names right now, but I think the most popular one is Yggdrasil's Branch.
Yeah, I like that. Sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. And we will be streaming that tonight. So very exciting. Forming a town. We already have about 30 people in like a congregated area, I think. So it'll be very exciting to connect all that and get like a thriving town where people can focus on jobs and really help each other out. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then let's see what else. Okay, I just got back from a weekend-long LARP, live action role play. Nice. And the story concept was, imagine post-World War II if they had discovered the island of Atlantis and realized that scientifically magic was real.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And the game actually had an honest to goodness language that was a grammar puzzle that people could decode. And one of the most incredible parts about that is they included a children's book as part of the game for people to use to decode. And I'm like, this is so perfect, because children's books are such a perfect way for people to learn language. And so it has been absolutely delightful to be able to see that and experience that and have like firsthand experience at home. Because my child right now is, wanting desperately to learn how to read. And at the moment, he's got almost 10 books memorized, or at least several pages of 10 books memorized. And it's so impressive to watch him, figuring out the letters and then just pretending to read the books So that's been like a fun side thing. And if you look, J-Rock, you do have a couple of pictures. There's one of me in like a hat, and then one of the redwood forest. We were in the San Jose Mountains, and so it was just this beautiful redwood forest with these cabins just, out in this, middle of nowhere. There was no signal whatsoever. The concept was like some costuming sometime between 20s to 40s for purposes of accessibility and comfort. I sort of just used a hat and some shirts that sort of looked 40s style-ish. And that was the best I could do for costuming. But in this picture, you'll see that I have like a red sash around my neck and a black sash around my hat. That's because I decided with my character to become a master of truth magic.
And those colors are associated?
Yeah. That basically meant that I reached the highest level. I was the only one. And we did all kinds of fun things. But yeah, so I sort of had a cool storyline. There was an interesting mechanic where it was sort of a choose your own adventure diving into an ancient city. And I personally took over the mapping of it because, my God, it was complex. It was so cool, though. It was very cool, but oh my gosh, there was so much. And then let's see here. With my group, I'm starting to write the next Mega D&D game, which for those of you who haven't heard about this yet, I have a group of about 5 people who we construct a 3-act D&D game with somewhere between 4 and 5 tables and up to 40 players. And they are interactive. The things that happen at one table affect other tables. And then everyone comes together at the end for a cinematic mega battle where everyone sort of says, okay, we choose to do this for this round. And then the DMs get together, say, if this is what the players are doing, this is how the big bad evil guys respond. And then we narrate what the players do and the effects of that with the BBEGs. And so it's a very fun, very dynamic, very complex thing that we run in May. And so we started to write that. And then let's see here. TwitchCon 2023 happened. I drove to Las Vegas with my friend Kit Kat. I got to meet one of my first followers and my first subscriber. He stayed in the hotel with us with his partner. And I got to meet all kinds of incredible, wonderful people, streamers. I sent you a bunch of pictures on this as well.
Should I just bring them up randomly?
Yeah. Just bring them up and I'll sort of... Right. So here we have Bald Zebra, Crit Pirate, and Scooby 2012. Or no, not 212. My gosh, I cannot believe I got her name wrong. Here with me in my wheelchair, absolutely delightful group of people, lots of fun. I brought cupcakes with me and was like distributing them to like friends. And I actually have a video of Bald Zebra eating my cupcake and it is hilarious. And then let's see, what other pictures are you going to bring up? All right, so this is, she's Alextria. She is an incredible artist and does streaming as well. And in the background, you have Blink Blink Games, Kuriyami-chan or Kit Kat, Crit Pirate, and Bald Zebra. And then Kit Kat, who's been to Vegas a number of times. Oh, this is... why is my brain failing me? She is a musician and a gamer. And she was a person who I had met through streaming Valheim. And she ended up getting a concussion at Vanessa Lopez. There we go. Vanessa Lopez official. She had gotten a concussion in TwitchCon Paris, and I'd reached out to her and I was like, hey, don't get on a plane post-concussion. until you are asymptomatic, it is a very bad idea to get on a plane. And so she was incredibly thankful that, we were able to help her from continued injury.
Yeah. Looks like she might have been streaming the event too, huh? Yeah.
Yep. She was streaming the event. Yep. So she's a pretty major DJ on the scene.
Cool.
Like 20,000 followers, has streams with 600 to 800 people every day. She's incredible.
Awesome.
And then let's see here. What else is there? Kit Kat took me to probably the most delightful sushi dinner of my life. To the point where the food was so good that my shins were tingling. And we had the feast. And so it was this revolving course of foods that just kept coming in. It was $100 for the two of us.
Nice.
And it was, oh my gosh, the food was so freaking good. At this point, Las Vegas sucked for accessibility. Let me just say, there were no curb cuts. When there was a curb cut, there wasn't a one to the next sidewalk. And so I ended up being stuck on the road, facing oncoming traffic, just trying to get to the next place. Oh God, it was kind of a disaster. And TwitchCon itself really needs to work on their accessibility and, where they have people sign in, where they have signage. I basically was moving around the equivalent of 6 blocks just to get from my hotel around the convention center to the other side where they were checking people in, kind of thing.
Yeah. And what do we have here?
Okay, so this was a giant chessboard, and I had a little bit of fun with the language here. Being morning darkness queen takes white king. And
Nice.
It was just this giant chessboard that we got to sort of set up a game on, and it was very cute, and I had fun with this.
Yeah, that's cool. Was this in the hotel or something? Or
That was at the convention center in the back.
Convention center. Okay, cool.
Hi, big girl. Hi, sweet girl.
Ooh, puppies.
Hi, sweet girl. Oh.
Puppy nose.
That's probably a dog, not a puppy.
She's 4.
They're all giant
They're
puppies.
all puppies. They're all puppies. What are you talking about?
Well, I got a picture that you sent of some very delicious looking dessert. What's going on?
Oh
there?
yeah. Okay, so this is ube cheesecake. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
I bet.
What cheesecake?
Please forgive the screaming. Ube. It's a Japanese citrus fruit.
So like a lemon type of cheesecake.
Yeah, kind of.
But not quite. Okay.
But not quite. And it was very delicious. So yeah, the dinner was, there's more. There was a filet mignon kind of thing, and then there was I believe that was spicy tuna over a piece of fried tofu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it was so...
It's making me hungry. I gotta turn those pictures
it was
off.
so good. It was so good. I learned a lot. There was a lot of really good information. And yeah, so TwitchCon Las Vegas was good, but mixed bag. And then I also recently went to, in the city of Oakland, there was a bar that had a Lord of the Rings themed wine tasting. So I dressed myself up as a hobbit, and my friend Kit Kat took me, and I've had all kinds of adventures with Kit Kat recently, which has been really, really fun.
Is that this picture here?
Yeah, that's this picture here.
And she obviously, so she lives in the Bay Area also.
Yeah. She actually lives 5 minutes away from me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was a good thing. Lots of good stuff. I've done a couple more cosplays while streaming, and then last but not least, and really there's so much more to talk about. But the last thing I'm going to cover is for those of you who haven't heard, my health has sort of been deteriorating. I found out that it was possible that I'd have to stop PC gaming altogether because my back is deteriorating, and the setup that I have to help prevent pain in my feet was causing further problems. And my community said, hey, find a solution and we'll help support you. So I found a gaming cockpit chair that looks literally like a scorpion, where like it goes to 0G positioning for the chair, and then there's like an arm that comes and reaches over and will hold the monitor for you and will like free float and do all kinds of things. And now my camera's out of, okay, there we go. And
That's
something I want for myself.
That thing right there. My community raised the $4,000 in a month, and I got to order my chair last week.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's
nice.
great.
So I'll be getting it this year. I'll be getting it sometime at the end of December. So it'll be like the most perfect Yule present
That's
awesome.
in the world. Please forgive the deep emotions.
Sorry, the arm there up front, this is like they do attach the screens to it, to this?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah,
And it has
looks like
massage, and it goes to 0G, so my feet will be lifted up.
this
and
one
it
belongs
has-
to Star Trek or something.
Yeah. No, I am beyond touched that my community was so generous in, I mean, they found out that it was a need and not a want, and it took them a month.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
so
yeah, that's really cool.
So you better not stop streaming now.
Yeah.
I can't. No, I literally can't. I now have a couple of YouTube videos that I've got to do. I've got to do a chandelier tutorial and a circle roof tutorial, and I owe all kinds of things now because this happened.
Some PAX Day playthrough.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep. No, it's incredible. So yeah, no matter what, this is going to be happening. And even though the health updates continue to be a little bit scary, I've got more medical appointments coming up, so we'll be getting more answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's
All right.
awesome. That you can. We can jump on and try to entertain people while we're trying to entertain ourselves and make connections like that with real world people who, will reach out to help. That's awesome. So thank you to everybody out there in the community who helped out. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I keep dubbing it the Famheim, and
Yeah.
it really does feel like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Valheim community has become family, and I have never seen any community like this with any other game anywhere, and I am so deeply grateful to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 50. I've played games online forever, and I mean, even though I started, my community, just everybody around, whether they are in my community or just sort of following videos or streaming or whatever, like it's such a good vibe. I've never had this experience with another game or community before, so it's pretty cool. Well, Tolkus, you have some big news to share with everyone, right? Yeah, look at that. Let me get
He got married.
There we go. Yeah, finally made it.
Congratulations. Now you're an official grown-up.
Yeah,
no more running around as a single guy.
Been 10 years since I've been single, but
I know.
people walked up to me now in malt culture. You are now a man. They're like, okay, if you say so. What was I before? I don't know, but yeah, it was a pretty
Amazing.
It was a nice day. Yeah, we were there where my wife was really nervous, like her hand was shaking when she signed the papers. Like, no fears, but just the tension was there. And then that was over. Then we went over to the other location. We did some shootings. There was this the location was like a restaurant, and they had a lake right next to it, and we were taking pictures on a wooden bridge that kind of went over it, and in front of the lake as well. And at some point, I had to pick up some, we had little accessories that we wanted to use in the pictures. And when I came back, then we continued, and then we walked over, and then my wife said to me, the photographer said, I look great. He had his wife with him. She was helping him, not him, but my wife to, with the dress and everything. My wife was super cautious. She didn't care if it could get dirty. We knew it. It was raining that day, and at right when we went out to take the pictures, it stopped raining. Then when we were done, it came down again. It was the whole day was perfect. Basically, it
was meant to be.
I love that.
Oh yeah, it was. And then we took pictures with us. Then we had some a fantasy style pictures where I would pose with my fantasy Viking sword that I cannot find right now. She had elven ears and the I think the Morning Star necklace from Lord of the Rings. It was pretty cool. And then later, then was time we had the first course. We had a soup. I was about to sit down, and then I looked around. Dad, where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you holding notes? And my dad had a little speech prepared for where he talked about how I was, how I was when I was born, how I scared my parents once when I decided to travel home by myself through the city of Milan, and then all the way through. And unluckily, he only got told that once he was home, once he was back, kinda. And my mother, then later my mother came up, and she said she's not much of a speaker, so she decided to sing on my wedding with her guitar, my whole.
That's awesome.
Songs from these old a Soviet Union movie that I used to watch as a kid. Hopefully, good thing I'm in Germany, not in the US. I'm a descendant of a communist, and I used to watch my favorite movie was the Three Musketeers. But you have to understand, it's not they took the book and they made a movie out of it as it was, it would be a play in theater. The whole thing was shot and acted like it was on stage in a theater, and all the actors, they had to do all themselves, riding, fighting, fencing, dancing, singing. Even people love to sing in Russian. The old Russian movies and there was this one song where they would sing the Four Musketeers as they would ride through Paris at the end. The whole movie was 4 parts, each part 3 hours, and at the end of each part they would just ride through town, sing their song about C'est la vie, this is life, Paris, and enjoy it. And I was so close to tears so many times. It was pretty insane. And then everyone was having a good time. We met the tables, sit up. It was my friend's table was probably the most interesting one. We had our table. We had then our parents on one table, my parents on the other side on one table. Then we had her colleagues from work, her colleagues from when she was in trainership. And then there was one table with our friends. And you could see one, I don't know in English, a guy that takes care of old people. What's it called in English? The job, basically.
It's a caretaker.
Nurse caretaker, a caretaker, an opera singer, a brewer, 2 of Jehovah's Witnesses, and this whole constellation worked perfectly. And it was you could hear, and then the opera singer, my friend Henrik, you could hear his voice. He didn't have to put any effort. I could hear them talking 2 tables away. This guy is such and then of course, everyone was enjoying their meal. It was awesome. I can't show any pictures right now because I don't have them myself. The photographer takes forever to designer much. On the other hand, I hope so. He does take some time.
Did you have anybody recording video?
On video, not that I know of. Maybe some people on their phones,
some camera phones. Yeah.
My parents also made some pictures, but I'm really waiting for the big pictures to guys to see. We also had a photo box on my wedding where people could dress up and take pictures on their own that we have as well. There was at some point, like the opera singer, he put on a red hair, and he looked like the singer from not the singer, the guitar player from Queen. Exactly. It was something about his nose and the hair. It just worked together. And we were having a great time. And then later when we opened the dance floor and I was having so much fun, I ripped my pants dancing.
Oh no.
I was trying to like limbo, and there was like this point where I was stretching too far back, trying to catch myself, and then boom. Just right in the middle. There was
right in the crotch. Huh?
Yeah, right in the crotch. And then instead of I had jeans with me, instead of putting on some jeans, my friend told me, "Hey, I have a sewing kit in my car. Let's go outside." I was like, "Okay, let's go outside." But he didn't have a sewing kit with him, so we took instead like the stuff from his first aid kit and just with Band-Aid closed my pants together. Yeah, we just taped it just once, and it was like, well, we couldn't see anything, so okay, let's keep going. It was fun.
It sounds like a really memorable day in a lot of different ways. That's so awesome.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, indeed. And then we had my two sisters organized a little game where, I got kind of inspired by all those American wedding videos where the couple would sit backs to each other, each holding a shoe of one and the own shoe in the other hand, and they would get asked questions, and they would have the shoe according to who is more, like for example, who falls asleep first, and then you would raise the chair of the shoe of the one partner, and it was pretty fun. Like there was and then next day we paid for everything afterwards, and everyone was happy at the end. And all went like totally smooth.
Well, hopefully
nothing
when
went
you
wrong.
Get some pictures, you can join us on the podcast again and share a couple. That would be awesome to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope so. I hope I can. How long? It's I think the wedding. Hold on, let me check my calendar. Yeah, wedding is almost 2-3 weeks ago. Hurry up.
Yeah. Well, and you've been playing Return to Moria quite a bit, right? You've been playing your single player also?
Yeah, I've started playing a single player because everyone around me was like playing, and I was like, yeah, I wanted to, but get like an Epic Games Store account and then buy it there. Like it's like buying Xbox just to play Halo back in the day. Yeah. So I was like,
have to go to a physical store and buy a physical thing to play.
And then I looked at it. I was like, well, I was like sitting here, and then at some point I'll go.
Well, because I kept messaging you, like, "What are you gonna play? You gonna play?" And you're like, "I want to, but."
I talked to a lot of people. Like, is it worth it? Because I was also kind of scared because latest gaming purchase experiences. I wanted to make sure it was actually worth it first, because before I went through go through the trouble and make myself a new account, and then I started playing by myself, and I really enjoyed it. I recorded myself playing, and then posted the episodes. And this time, like, I had some other playthroughs, like let's plays. They weren't doing too great. And then my wife said, "Hey, if you want, I can make some thumbnails for you, like really simple Photoshop, cutting out, put together."
Yeah, they help definitely get views.
They help a lot, and I don't care that they don't look like all professional or something. I mean, couple, they are just awesome. Like sometimes it's like my sense of humor as well. It's pretty awesome. And yeah, they're doing better. And then at some point you came up to me and asked me if you want to play some Moria together. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to get into more discussion about Return to Moria a little bit later in the podcast. So let's save some of that for now.
Yeah, let's
because
move on.
We have some things to chat about when we get to there. I think even MD, you played a little Return to Moria, which we can talk about. But Vaste, you actually played. So you told us that you played your very first Dungeons and Dragons game on the last podcast, and you had a second session. How did the second session go?
It was so funny.
Good.
It was really good. They want to kill my character.
So you upset some people. It sounds like if they wanted to kill you.
No, I upset the other players because I've been doing it. I've been doing the thing that I feel like is funny. So
yeah,
I almost mess up one of the plot points because it was an array start game with 2 players and other 4 of us that we did the first session the last time we are joining, and we finally find one of the other guys, and we are in the middle of the fight. We don't know him, so in the moment it was the fighting, and it was hard to stop it, and I almost messed it up and keep going.
Well, yeah, be careful about that. I know you're only your second time ever playing. I've played hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of tabletop gaming, and yeah, sometimes if you get into conflict with players, that conflict can follow you outside of the game.
Well, I might have used the dwarf as a weapon, so I gain in the points. I literally throw we have a bar dwarf, and I throw it to the guy we find recently, like in the middle of the fight, and I forgot he was concentrating on the spell, the dwarf, and
you threw him.
Yes. The other guy evaded, so it missed completely. The dwarf hit the wall and got half health because I have too much strength. And he lost concentration, so it was the worst possible outcome.
Shit.
That's funny. Well, cool. And let's see. You have something on here about your shoulders and knees. Did you want to share?
Yeah, I just started rehab on my knees and shoulders. I did like 10 plus years of taekwondo, and the pain is resenting me from time to time, so I had to start that. Yeah,
take care of that. I mean, you're young. That as you get older, it only gets worse. So take care of yourself.
That's why I'm doing it now.
Yeah,
be careful. I had a colleague once. He was started his trainership to be a chef. He was 20 years old, and he already, like, in Germany you say Bandscheibenvorfall. Basically, he knocked his spine out. I don't know how to say it in English, but like with 20 years. I mean,
Well, yeah, I have injuries from like 10 years ago that still bother me, so it's just, try to be careful with your body, because it's the only one we got until we get our robot bodies. I'm really hoping for my robot body at some point. But so I've been doing so much lately, but one of the things I'm most excited about is I've been doing more playthrough videos, and like Tolus mentioned, we were doing a Return to Moria together. We've already recorded 2 episodes, and we have our 3rd scheduled next Monday. But I'm playing other games too, and I just don't have time to edit them. And I want to do more playthroughs and not just do like the live stream with the whole, several hours of content. I want, just to hit the best moments and have it move quickly. So I finally found an editor on Fiverr. I went through a bunch of, I communicated with about 8 or 9 different people and finally found one that has really good communication. The edits so far, I've had to go back and tweak a lot, but I actually recorded myself. It's probably about an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm debating whether I should post it on my channel or not. I think I might. Because basically you see my editing program and you see the entire interface of Adobe Premiere, and it's editing one of the episodes of the Enshrouded series that I did. And the editor has done his edits, but then I go through from the very beginning and I play the video and then I stop it and then I explain why this should change, why this or that changed to the edit. And I go through the whole thing, and it's about an hour and 15 minutes. I sent it to my editor, and he responded really well to the feedback. But I think it actually would be good for anybody who's looking to improve on their own video editing, because it's just things they may not think of. I mean, these are, I've been in editing videos for more than 25 years. So, I mean, I could probably spend, 40 hours going through just that one video and explaining an entire theory of editing. But at least in the hour and 15 minutes, I show how to go through and, why you might consider this or over that. Because it comes down to storytelling, and storytelling from one moment to the next. You have to be careful about, not just the technical edits, from cuts, but why do you go from this moment to the next moment? And sometimes it doesn't always make sense. So you got to try to find a way to make it make sense. And I go through that in there. And so I thought, if I'm going to make this video for him, maybe I'll share it with everybody. And because I might have to do this more in the future. Like if the communication stays really good with this individual, I might do more videos explaining why or I want certain changes, because eventually I want to be able to just send them the edit and have you can get it and I don't have to do anything. But yeah, so that's what I've been spending a lot of time on, in addition to playing more games and playing
the games.
Yeah, I just want to get back to playing the games. The editing takes so much time, as anybody who's edited knows. But so I've got some updates for my gaming servers over on my Discord channel, discord.gg/Jurok the Viking. You want to join our community? Come on over. We talk Valheim and we talk a whole bunch of other games. We have channels for a lot of different games. But I have a season 5 server that I've been prepping, but I need to wait for the ashlands to come out because I want to make sure that the ashlands content is new there too. So I do have a vanilla server called the Runelands running right now that people are playing on. But as soon as the ashlands comes out, I'll launch season 5. So this year, I don't know. It's in middle of November. What do you think, MD?
I mean, I don't know. Did you watch the Luma's YouTube channel when he and Grimcore were playing Valheim the other day?
I didn't watch the most recent one yet. Okay.
So they did that recently, and basically they were saying at first they thought they were going to add the oceans biome to the ashlands drop as well. But Grimcore was like, nah, we just want to get the biome done when we get it done and post it as soon as possible. And we just want to make sure we get it right before we put it up. So it seems like it sounded as if there wasn't any particular pressure for any particular timing.
Yeah.
And they're just going to get it done when they get it done.
Yeah.
However, based on everything I see, I still think it's going to be this year.
Yeah. Well, if it is going to be this year, they're going to have to drop it to the public test branch here in the next week or two,
which is about the same time that they did with Mistlands, didn't they?
Yeah, because I think Mistland was supposed to drop December 14, but they went too short on the public test. I think that happened last year, more or less.
Well, anyways, yeah. So if it does come out and you are looking for a community to play with, definitely come over to our community and check it out, because we'll have season 5 running when the Ashlands drops, and that should be a lot of fun. I'm sure it'll bring back quite a few players, who are playing other games, because there's so many cool games to play right now. It's hard to focus on one.
Stop. Just there's.
Like I haven't even gotten back to my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough.
Oh my gosh. I have Baldur's Gate and I still haven't gotten to play it yet.
We just made it to chapter 2 or 3 or so. So we are still way in the beginning. So me and my wife, and we didn't resume yet. So
too many distractions.
There's other games. There's other people who want to play other games as well.
Well, so back to Valheim, I wanted to point out too, if you're interested in playing modded Valheim, I have a modded server and it's going strong, and it's one of the I think it's probably one of the best modded experiences out there, because so I have 2 dedicated admins that work on this server. Whenever there's a new patch or anything or a new mod to consider to add, they test all the mods. I have a whole server just for testing for the modded server. So the modded server actually costs me 2 servers, because it's the live server and I have a test server where we test all our mods.
Yeah.
We make sure that everything works together before we push it live, kind of like a game before they push a patch, right?
Speaking of this newest patch, how badly did it break? I think there were a few things that weren't working, and so we had to stay on the old branch. But if I remember correctly, they've got everything working right now. So the last message I saw, I think everything is working. Brilliant.
I seen everything is on the new branch.
Yeah. But so... here's a way you can find out what my modded server is. If you go over to thunderstore.io and you look up Jirok, and it's Jotun Quest, JOTUNQUEST, Jotun Quest, or it looks like Jotun Quest. It's the 3.0 version. You can download that and install it, and you can play that on your single player or on your server. But at least you can see all the mods that we're running. Here's the difference, and why you might want to consider playing on my modded server if you want the real experience, because we customize all the settings. We tweak all the settings. So you can install all the mods, but you don't have all the tweaked settings to balance everything, to make sure nothing conflicts with anything else. And my admins do this. And like I said, we have a whole test server where we test everything and tweak the settings to get it to work. So I think it's one of the great modded experiences out there if you're interested. And my players love it. I got a lot of players that don't want to play vanilla anymore ever again because they like the modded experience so much. But so we have that going if you're interested in the modded experience, especially while you're waiting for Ashlands to come out.
Yeah.
And we have a way to update the server, the Ashlands area. We can update that area to include the new Ashlands content. Of course, we use mods to do that as well. And in other servers, I have 7 Days to Die server if you're interested. One of my admins did some really cool custom stuff on that server. I have a Minecraft server, which has had quite a few people playing it over the last couple of months. So if you're interested, you might be able to see some interesting builds on that. I still have an Empyrean Galactic Survival server. I don't think a lot of people are playing that except myself every once in a while by myself because I still love that game. But then Ark Survival Ascended, I'm thinking about doing a server for, but it's on a hold. I can't have it on G Portal. I have to rent it from Nitrado because they have exclusivity.
So I have a question about Ark Survival Ascended.
Yeah.
How stable is it? Because I've heard some really bad stories.
So I have a whole Ark Survival Ascended segment coming up after the Valheim news.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that.
Fair enough.
There's some
You'll
interesting...
find the answer.
But again, if you want to play with any of these lovely people here or many of the other lovely people on my server, head over to my Discord, discord.gg/JirokTheViking. Or if you'd like to get your own G-Portal gaming server, you can just use my link, jiroktheviking.com/Gportal. And that is not the link there because that's the link right there. And yeah, you can rent any game, that server that they have most of the games that do allow servers. They have it and save 10% with my link. So, the holiday, a lot of the time we have time for the holidays to play extra games and play with our friends. So if you're going to rent a server, might as well save some money. And then spend that elsewhere. Spend that on some really cool, give them the business merch, with the money. But yeah, so back to Valheim news.
Valheim.
So, yeah, there have been several patches over the last few weeks. Unfortunately, they all didn't come out in time.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So the first patch was one that they pushed to the public test branch. And it included the Jacko turnip, a new pointy hat, kind of looked like a witch's hat. And they had a lot of fixes and optimizations. And let's see, I think that is.
Can we take a moment and acknowledge that it wasn't just fixes? They upgraded the Unity engine from 2019 to 2022, mostly because 2019 was no longer going to be supported. So this was sort of a forced update. But that's a huge thing.
That's a big deal because I'm sure it required a lot of technical, they had to go in and work with the code and different things to make sure it was compatible. So yeah, that's just, that just adds more work to them when they're trying to create new content for us and fix other bugs and stuff. Now they had to go in and make it work with the new Unity. So, I'm not upset that they dropped the ball, which we'll talk about here, because so that was October 25th that this patch went to the public test branch with the Jacko turnip and the new pointy hat and a bunch of these other optimizations. One of the really cool optimizations, so they had two that I wanted to point out, and one was they optimized enemy AI. So, I don't know if anybody has noticed anything different with the AI change. I haven't played. Have you?
Yes.
Yeah. What have you noticed? It's a little bit different.
One, there are more of them.
Oh, so there's more enemies.
I don't know. I mean, the newest one that I'm running right now is the no map, and so it's still early game.
Yeah.
But the Grey Dwarves are constantly coming up to you out of nowhere and just they're no, there's a lot of
changed. Wasn't it that issue before? Those guys just come out over the place. Doesn't sound like much of a change.
Well, they used to come out of nowhere. Now they're doing it more.
Yeah, now they're doing it more. I will say
more. Thank you. Okay.
That I ran into a number of fenrings last night in the mountains, and they didn't seem to jump over my head anymore. They were much more successful at jumping at me.
Ah, okay. All right.
So that was definitely a thing.
Yeah. Well, one of the other really interesting updates that they did here is that says optimize structural integrity calculations, massively decreasing CPU time in areas with large builds. Have you noticed any difference there, MD?
It's not what they say. The difference that I've noticed.
Oh, is it worse?
There is somehow a bug that now occurs that has one of those, oh gosh, why can I cannot do the technical language today. I'm so sorry. Where basically it creates a bug where it does like a memory bleed where remember that problem that would happen with the stone portals where it would just run all of this data and the instances would just
spam your console.
Yeah, it would spam your console. That's what happens. That's what happens in large builds now. there's a bug for some large builds where your console just gets spammed, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, and lags and lags and lags
and lags and lags more and more until you restart the game, huh? Well, there's another ball being dropped. That's probably has also something to do with the new Unity engine.
Yeah, probably has. I mean, because like they were specifically trying to work on it, and so I do have to acknowledge that that they were juggling a lot of things on this update. And so I'm sure that it's something that their attention is immediately on, but it is something that has been a big bug that they have noticed, that for some large builds, your console gets spammed. Instead of it being more optimized, it is worse right now. For some people, not everyone, but for some people. But right now I'm in the middle of building a very large base, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially if it's a new world since the update and the new base and everything. Is it going to be the same problem as with an old world? Who knows? But so they also, so that was October 25th. That was only on the public test branch, which obviously MD's talking about it because it did come out eventually. But before we get there, they had this really cool dev blog that came out on December 27th. And they released these images here of these new weapons. Now, I don't know if you remember, but they released a Photoshop drawing of these weapons. Do you remember that, MD, what those look like? The Photoshop drawing?
Weren't they like colorful, like with magic? Were those?
Yes. Now, so those images from the Photoshop, they had
the different colors, right, for the different elements.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think these are the base weapons, and we can maybe imbue them with magic?
Well, I kind of think so. Yeah. So let's see. I think I have it right here. I wanted to show you guys. So this is the image that they released from Photoshop, right? So like they got these little stones here, but each one, they have these different colors. Like you could imbue them with different powers, right? Like some kind of blue, green, and red, black, smoky power. But when they showed us, what's that, Togas?
Yeah, probably fire, poison, and lightning, like the powers we have already.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you'd think that the rendered versions would have that, but they didn't show us the magic power of these. So I remember I when I did a video covering this update, somebody in the comments said, "Why do they look so boring?" And I said, "Well, they look boring here because they haven't been imbued with the magic yet." Which brings me to the next part of this dev blog, is this device. They say they call it the mysterious contraption. So what do you think it might be used for? It looks like the obliterator. So obviously like it has the lightning pole here, and lightning hits it, and there's like this barrel with these glowing lights on it. I'm guessing, one of my guesses is that you take the boring weapons here and some materials and you stick them in here, and then with the lightning infuses the weapons to then have their magic power. That might be, I don't know. That seems like a good, one good way to do it in order to give them these magic powers. Have you heard any other good theories, anybody, for that mysterious device?
No, but this kind of reminds me of the jewel crafting mod we have on the server. Yeah. Like a profession, and maybe a new workbench that allows you to socket and then put gems in them. I mean, you could see on the what was it, the Photoshop picture? There were little gems on top of the swords. Maybe that's something that will come in. Probably a reason maybe to storm the castles. They have those magic gems inside them. We have to take them out in order to socket our weapons, maybe.
Yeah.
If that's true.
If
probably devs are coming around the corner. Sorry, Vaste, what do you say?
No. If it's like that, like you need to imbue the weapon, I hope it stays and it's not like temporary thing. Because they did that with the magic, where you need to eat when you want to use the magic, which it kind of did when you are always running out of food. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you're worried that maybe those magic things on the weapons could be buffs for the weapons that are temporary.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even consider that, but yeah, I guess that could be a possibility. You know, things like that are actually good for a game, and Valheim needs more of them. Consumable items like that, because we have chests and chests full of items, you know, like bone fragments and other things that we just have nothing to do with them. So give us more things that consumable. So I guess a buff on a weapon is one way to have a consumable item that you would use.
Yeah, that could be cool. But yeah, true. But the problem is, if you need that machine like the Obliterator to imbue it, and you need to go back each time you need to refresh the buff, that will be quite painful.
Yeah. Well, luckily in your world, Vaste, you have portals, so you can so you can easily get back to your base to get your materials.
And I can teleport the metals too.
Yeah, I'm sure you turn that on as well. You're just all about convenience, so you can get on with it, right?
Just delete those stupid portals and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they added the option where you can customize your world. This is one of probably the biggest thing there was. But yeah, I mean, with all this crap, I mean, they tease like they're gonna be like a war engine, some sort of catapult, maybe, I don't know. Different type of ammunition, maybe. They'll have like shots that do damage to buildings, and then have like, I don't know, grape shot, shrapnel shot, which just needs bones and everything. It just does a huge AoE effect in an area. Yeah. Just like some sort of fire and forget.
Well, so also during this dev blog, they showed us this image, and they actually say something about this lava, which I think MD predicted back in the day, that it would actually be fluid, you know, it wouldn't just be hard ground that was hot, that it would be in liquid form. So I'm like, I want to see a video what this looks like.
Oh my gosh.
Still images.
Also, how it's going to behave. Is it going to be like water, or if
it's
they add
fiery doom.
Yeah. But also, like, if they add lava, can we have then, if it's like a fluent liquid going down somewhere, does it also mean there's going to be maybe like rivers coming from a mountain flowing down, maybe of some sort?
Yeah,
like the way water,
we haven't seen
water
any
works right
images of volcanoes or anything like that yet. But I made a video of that covered this update, and I brightened up this image quite a bit, because over here where I'm showing the little hand, there's actually a whole set of ashlands ruins here in the background, which you can see when I brighten up the image and zoom in on it, and it looks really cool. And then we have these like these hot glowing orange crystalline looking structures, which some kind of new resource or something. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah. So pretty cool dev blog update here. And after that, they did a little patch where they just fixed some issues. So this came out on November 2nd. Now keep in mind, we still didn't have our Halloween items. It's already November 2nd. We still don't have the pointy hat or the Jacko turnip, but they upgraded to Unity here in the PTB, and then finally on November 7th, so a whole week after Halloween, rather than a week before Halloween, getting Halloween items so you can start decorating, we get them the nightmare before Christmas. So you get to decorate before Christmas, and of course here in the US for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So they did finally put out that public test branch stuff on the 7th, and they actually had 2 more patches since then, just fixing little things here. So boom there, and then on the 13th, which was just yesterday, so they're pushing patches like crazy. I'm hoping that this means that they're really trying to get ready for Ashlands by pushing a bunch of these
I think so.
little patches. Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% think that that's a lot of what has to do with what's going on. And I will also say that I have to appreciate that in one of the releases from Motiet, she said that the goal with the seasonal items is to set them to a clock and a timer rather than to specific patches or, things like that, so that they'll just be able to be dropped at appropriate times. And I appreciate that is an intention they have eventually, because, every year they've released Halloween items super late. Like,
yeah.
Last year, they dropped the Jacko turnips on the 30th or the 29th.
Yeah, like a day or two before.
Yeah. And so, I really think it was the 30th, if I recall correctly. I remember being frustrated because I was doing a haunted build and we couldn't even add them to the build competition that I was in. So I appreciate that that's their like future goal. I really do hope that they do it the month before, or at least 2 weeks before.
Yeah, we need these updates before. And like you said, it would be nice to not have them associated with a game patch, but rather just like a built-in timer based on the day of the year, and then they become available. Of course, if it's a new item, they have to push a patch, right? Like the pony hat was a new item, so they have to push a patch. But the Jacko turnips, that could just turn on and off, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so I appreciate that that's their intention. And it was frustrating that it was so late this year.
What were you going to say, Vaste?
If they have the clock, they can release it. If they end up putting a clock, they can release it like the pointy hat, they could release it in May. Because of the clock, it won't be up until whenever the time it is for the Halloween. So they wouldn't have that much problem with that. They could just release on the background the items and wait for it to pop up in the holiday.
Well, you're assuming that there's a lot of foresight there, because a lot of times things just like ideas come up at the last minute and they're like, hey, it's a couple weeks before Halloween. Maybe we should throw in a pointy hat. Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, let's push it. They could do it months before. Yeah.
Yeah, the same way they did with the Abomination. When one of the interviews, they say like, someone had the idea and we just roll it, which whoever was available to do it. And think of that, like if someone got the idea, oh, we can add this, but it's better for Christmas, but we are in summer. Well, we can add it. We have the clock now.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, they did drop the ball there, but they finally got out, and of course, the Unity engine update, I'm sure, played a part in some of that. So let's hope that if there is this memory leak that MD pointed out, that they find a fix for it, because we need the big builds to get better, not worse.
Yes, and they're trying. It is their focus. It's just something went wrong.
Yeah. So that's all the Valheim news going on, and I wanted to talk about my latest obsession, Return to Moria, which we mentioned a little bit earlier. MD, have you played it much?
Yes, I will say that as part of the community before I got really sick and couldn't play last week, we got to the second major landmark area that you can interact with regularly.
Is that the area with all the light and the big space built, the Elven Quarter?
No. So I would say that there is a part. There is a part in the Elven Quarter that you get to interact with and do some really cool stuff, and it's like a really big, beautiful cutscene and very exciting.
Okay.
It is very similar to that, but the second one.
Oh, okay. So you're past us then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're our playthrough. We're in the Elven Quarter at the big forge and stuff.
Just got that. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we just found a major memorial.
Ooh.
That kind of brought tears to my eyes.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing. This game is so charming and
oh
has
my
all
gosh,
the mythology
so charming.
and the singing and just everything. Like, despite whatever flaws it has,
which it has a lot of.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it has. It's so charming and it does certain things so much better than other games. Like, just it entertains me. Like it entertains me with how much charm it has with the little touches. So like I forgive it for its flaws and things that they could, potentially improve in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we killed the second boss, not the last time, but the time before. And at first it wasn't spawning in, so that was unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so killing the second boss was good fun. We found a really special area that we need to go back to that's deep and dark and scary and lethal.
Well, if you had to describe like one of your favorite elements, one or two of your favorite elements of the game or specific things in the game, do you just like anything come to mind?
Oh yes. No, what I keep saying is the singing. The group singing in groups, mining together. We'll have up to 8 dwarves, and having all 8 dwarves singing a drinking song around a keg together is absolutely freaking delightful. Yeah. It is the best, especially when you have people who've chosen the different voices. So if you have like a couple of female voices and a few of the different male choices, and everyone is singing with different harmonies and different levels, like I just every time it happens, joy does not diminish. Every time it happens, I'm just like, yee! Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Come on, everyone. Let's do the thing right now. Let's go.
Yeah. My favorite item in the game is actually the Wonder Keg.
Yeah.
I just carry a barrel of beer with me just to be able to sing it anytime I want, everywhere.
Yep. No, it's the singing is so good. It was really delightful getting to learn that it is the San Francisco Opera who they tasked to get the different harmonies and the different singing done. I thought that was a really cool little piece of information about the game.
Yeah. It's also so cool how one starts singing and the other players can join in and sing in their own stuff. They sing along. It's not just the one sings one song, one sings
no,
and it's just a big mess. No, they just they like sing in chorus. They say, and it's
they'll start to hum. It just there are so many delightful touches there that are unbelievable that just bring me so much joy. It is unfortunate that they have not yet implemented subtitles for the songs so that I can learn the songs and join in.
No, I want to sing along too, even though I don't sing well, but I just want to sing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I want to sing.
just all together.
Yeah.
So the footage I'm playing is the playthrough, the first episode that I did with Tolus. But Tolus, do you remember when we repaired that one special statue? Our characters break out into song. We were both just leaning back, and it's I got the chills.
It's just so good.
To it.
I was sitting there, dude. I'm about to cry.
Yeah,
I'm about to cry. I was sitting there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just you wait. There's another scene that is 10 times more moving than that one.
I won't survive that one.
It is 10 times more moving than that one, and it is incredible.
Nice.
Well, I was going to say the singing is obviously one of those super standout things about the game. But I'm also having fun with like the visual design of the game is so cool to look at. Like I just find myself going into every room and I want to look at the way they've carved that pillar, the way they've carved that, every detail. Like I just explore every little detail.
I think my second favorite thing about the game is the reconstruction of Moria. How you can go around and fix the mechanic of fixing statues and fixing buildings and fixing. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to add spoilers.
Yeah.
But I'm being a good girl. But yeah, no, it is. I love that aspect of being able to reclaim something, and I think it's a little unfortunate that they had to break all the statues to fix the bug where not all the recipes were being dropped. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yep.
So you had to go back and rebuild all of the statues to see if you could get any of like the missed recipes kind of thing. But I love that aspect of the game in general.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I reclaimed I made my base at the first forge you can find. It just that part. This is mine. This is the Forge of Moria, and it's ours now.
Yeah,
we are back. The dwarves are back.
Well,
I also built a base there. Yes.
Yeah. So many games, like you can build from scratch. Your base or your building or your house or whatever. But one of my favorite things in a game is to find old ruins or an old building, something in game, and then renovating it and making it mine. And now, like Return to Moria, that's just the whole game. The whole game is an old
the entire
ruins.
Point. Yeah.
And you can rebuild anywhere that you want and rebuild anything you want. So it's just, it's like there's almost too much for me to do, even though I've heard people say, well, it's a little bit linear. It's taking you through the story to reclaim Moria, and it's a little bit linear. And I think, yeah, but I haven't gotten very far because I'm stuck here examining every nook and cranny and rebuilding everything. Like I'm just having fun doing my own thing. I don't need to rush through and get to the end.
Actually, the whole story is about getting out of Moria, ironically.
Right.
Yeah.
Like our whole point is to find a way out of the mind, not get into them.
Well, and I mean the mines of Moria are actually just a really small part of Khazad-dûm. And there's just so much more to it than that.
Yeah, of course. There's a lot. Yeah, Khazad-dûm is a whole. Khazad-dûm is a kingdom. Like I saw a video the other day where someone had complained about all the areas being like kind of randomly spawned in. Like every time you create a world, it's never the same. Yeah. And it was the Game Star, a gaming magazine that gave that review. When I think about it, and the feedback was it doesn't feel like a planned dwarven city. It just feels like a random landscape going through. But then if you think about it, Moria is a kingdom, a whole kingdom under the mountains. It's not just one city. There's just halls and halls. Then there's a little spot there. Then you walk a bit further. There's a mine. And I think when people think about Moria, they think about it that it's going to be similar to Erebor, just one big city inside a mountain. No, it stretches all the way through the mountains. There's so many ways to go through. Can't even think about finding all of them. So,
I appreciate the procedural generation because if you play through again by yourself or with others, things will be slightly different.
Slightly different because they do have fixed areas that are all the same.
Yeah, the main areas you're going to come to, like the starting area where you build your base, the Elven Quarter, and whatever's past it, because I haven't gotten past that. But yeah, but some of the things in between, it's nice that they're in slightly different locations, so that you don't just come around the corner and okay, I'm going to go fix that statue. When I come around this corner, I'm going to go into that old ruins and find one of the little carving statues on the ground. Like everything's in a slightly different place to make the, to encourage exploration, right? Like that's the main reason to have the procedural generation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tolkus and I have 2 parts up now, and a third one will be on Monday. And MD, do you have streams of Moria up available for people to watch?
I do. As a matter of fact, I have like 9 or 10 of them.
Okay.
Here, video producer.
So yeah, look over on.
I even gave away a copy of Return to Moria.
Oh, awesome!
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 7. I've got 7 playthroughs so far, or 7 streams.
Yeah.
7 4-hour streams.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That's a lot. Yeah.
So check that out if you're interested over on Twitch. Morning Darkness. And so I made one how-to video for this. I want to make a bunch more, just like little things, because when you very first play, your very first time, you're not quite sure. Actually, I was super frustrated my first time because I kept dying from cold and the darkness. Because I didn't know that I had to go make my base right away and have fire and sleep and all this stuff because I was too busy exploring. Like I was just exploring, and then all of a sudden I'm dying. Like I died 2 or 3 times.
Exact complaint.
I was like, why am I dying? How do I deal with this? I just want to explore now. Yeah.
Now you have to prepare.
You have to, get your first base going and then go explore. And so I just made a little video explaining that, which if you're going to play, I highly recommend. I don't really spoil any. I mean, the intro, obviously you see how it goes down, but I go through it pretty quickly. So it's not to spoil too much. But yeah, and I guess Vaste, you haven't played Return to Moria yet, have you?
I played the beta. I was in the beta. So I have a few hours on it.
Oh, okay. But you're not planning to play the full version?
No.
Right?
No, I wasn't... What I play wasn't my type of game.
Yeah. Yeah, not enough portals and maps for you, huh?
There are portals, actually.
I spent too many hours getting lost, so I was like, no, I will pass from this.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you'd enjoy it more if you played with others. Running around in a group is so much more fun.
Yeah, with others, you can also play together, use different items, and combination was really an awesome experience. Also, funny how you mentioned, they mentioned that in the beginning, first playthrough, you kept dying all the time, and then it kind of reminded me of when you told me your experience when you played Valheim for the first time, and you had. I think you told me you spawned in the meadows and you had plains right next to you, and you had to cross the plains to get to the swamp. And you were basically trying to cross the plains in troll armor.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, to get to our swamp, we had to go through a section of plains, and we kept dying.
Yeah, and you apparently had to use your brains in order to get to the near swamp. But that's like I said, same in Moria. You have to prepare yourself and be ready. But sometimes can be a bit annoying that you have to run back to your base a lot of times. Like you have to run back to repair, you have to run back to cut your stuff. Also, when you die, all your gear is broken. You have to run there, pick it up, teleport back, repair everything, and then you can go back to the front. Like maybe some repairs. Like if you could craft a repair kit on the way, I think that would be not like nice add-on maybe. But yeah, other than that, there are technical flaws, but the atmosphere is so nice. Just
I wanted to tell you
see it for yourself.
So I've played with a lot of people before, but playing with you, like for me, I don't know if you're enjoying it too, but there's a certain like chemistry that I find that I'm really enjoying. Because in the first episode when we played together, there was one moment that like stood out, and I want to make a little short clip to put as like a YouTube short of that. It was the first time that we unlocked a new piece of armor. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I was like, let's go back and make it.
We repaired a statue, and it said, you've unlocked like the chest plate or some piece of armor. And Tolus goes, whoopee, let's go back right now and get that armor. Instead of continuing to explore, do our stuff, we just turned around and we're like both jumping, woohoo, new armor, all the way back to base. It's just like little moment.
That's like the little things that make it fun. I mean, come on, you can't just say, oh, cool, new armor, let's go back. Or you can have that, or you can have, all right, yeah, happy, let's go, wee!
yeah. It made that discovery just that much more fun. Like, I'm already excited that I get new armor, but that Tolus wants it now, so we have to go make it now, not wait. We have to make it right now.
We can wait when we are dead.
That was fun. So a couple of more things before we close out here. I wanted to quickly talk about Ark Survival Ascended. Has anybody played it before I go into it a little bit? No? Nobody played it?
No.
Okay, so I bought Ark Survival Evolved, the original game, when it first came out. I was really into multiplayer back then, and so I logged on to a server, I think one of their official servers. Everybody was so rude on the server, just like everybody. It was so toxic that I was completely turned off by the game, and I uninstalled it and I never played it again. But it always seemed like one of those games that I would love, because I love taming creatures and riding them, and mounts and having pets and all this stuff, because I get into the role playing where I actually like they become my cute little companions and I talk to them like they're sentient. So with this new version, the upgraded graphics and everything, it looks beautiful first off. And MD asked about, well, is it hard to run on your computer? Yes, it is. So and I've seen people complain about this. It needs to be optimized for PC. Oh, please stop with that. It's not optimized for your PC. It's optimized for PCs for the next 5 to 10 years, because they want the best engine to have the best look for the future computers, because it just came out now. So they're planning for the future when computers will be, powerful enough to run it in 4K and, highest everything settings. Well, all you have to, I have a almost 3-year-old Zydex computer, jiroktheviking.com/Zydex. And it runs it fine. I just have to turn some of the settings down. There's even a couple of great YouTube videos that talk about some console commands where you can also turn off some cloud stuff and turn off some water stuff. And I run 60 frames per second at 1920 by 1080 perfectly fine. My game has never crashed. It runs smoothly and it still looks great. That's a 3-year-old computer. So stop. Please stop. They're doing the best they can over there and they're planning for the future. So yes, I'm sure that just about anybody can play it. Now, even with the settings turned all the way down, if you're really running a potato, then, I don't know what kind of frame rate you're going to get, but there are ways to optimize it. And it's first person and third person, MD. So you have your option. But I call this game sort of a next level survival game, because if you think about all the things you'd like to add to Valheim or Return to Moria or any survival game you've ever really thought of or played, Ark has it. Ark is so feature rich. It has so many features. It's almost overwhelming if you watch a couple of videos and you think, oh my gosh, this game seems so complicated. But it's not. When you first start, it just takes you through the basics, just like Valheim. You pick up sticks and rocks, right? You pick up plants and you start making the basic stuff. Eventually, you can have laser weapons and Iron Man armor and all kinds of like crazy sci-fi stuff. From sticks and rocks. You start from sticks and rocks, and eventually you get to super technology. It's an amazing. So Kondo, one of the admins from our server, I asked him because he's playing with Pendak, another member of our server, together on a Nitrado server. I said, "So what do you think?" And he says, "This game is so much more in depth than Valheim or even 7 Days to Die." Which 7 Days to Die was sort of like that pinnacle of like survival game. They have so many features and options in there, but he's just like, no, Ark has so much more. So,
oh wow, okay,
yeah. So I'm planning to do a playthrough, and I'd love to convince Tolkus if he can find more time to play with me or anybody. Like if anybody's interested in doing a playthrough,
well, you would have to hire me.
Yeah, right.
That's actually all that's stopping me is my job, and I'm about to just throw in my blanket and say, "F it, fuck kitchen, fuck the industry. I'm bleep, done."
Bleep, bleep.
So sorry. Hey, I'm in Germany. I can say whatever the fuck I want, even on no TV. This is actually a free country over here. Yeah, America, my ass. There we go. So yeah, that's all that's stopping me. All that's stopping is my job. So yeah, and I don't have the reserves yet or idea then to quit yet. So, but
yeah. Well, some of my favorite channels, some of my favorite YouTube channels are groups of people playing together, like Neebs Gaming and others, and obviously they're making enough revenue to pay salaries and have people not have to work. That would be the dream at some point in the future, but it's baby steps for the last 2.5 years. But so Ark is this. It's a game that I think it could just have thousands and thousands of hours of entertainment and feature rich, way more than like just about any other game. Of course, there's been the controversy that you can only rent servers from Nitrado and nobody else, which is unfortunate. For me, G-Portal's a sponsor, so it'd be good. But I'm thinking about getting a server so that those who are interested can play. Pendak has a server now, so I'm gonna have to talk. I want to talk to him and see if he wants to keep his server, and maybe take his map and put it on mine, or what, or if they want to keep it separate. I don't know. But we're closing out the podcast now.
Yes.
Let's talk about this next thing real quick before we go, because we both know, MD, that what we're going to be doing for the rest of the evening.
The rest of the evening is I'm going to be making cupcakes for my son's birthday.
As soon as you're able, we'll be doing this right here.
Yes.
So this.
I'm not excited at all.
What about this one? I think you mentioned it some time ago that you started playing this.
No,
so it's basically it's a fantasy game. It's actually an MMO, so massive multiplayer online game, but it's survival, which we don't really have any MMOs that are survival, out there. So all the survival stuff, instead of just playing co-op or on little servers, it's massive. Like thousands of players are going to be on the same server playing together.
It's actually being developed by a number of the same people who helped develop EVE Online.
Yeah.
It is a massive multiplayer online survival sandbox.
Yeah,
with fantasy theming.
Yeah. So you get build stuff. You got to survive and harvest and grow and probably farm animals and fight creatures and all kinds of stuff. But it's in early alpha testing. We have 2 weeks to play. So,
and alpha testing was released at 3 a.m. Eastern time, or not 5 a.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. Pacific time. They are starting to release. They closed applications for alpha on the 12th of November. It does appear that the group that used my friend code did get accepted. So a number of the people who use my friend code are getting in. And we are starting to congregate in an area, and we are coordinating that through my Discord channel. And it's looking like the clan name is going to be Yggdrasil's Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Smithe, the wilderness and subject, say hi to the podcast.
Hi, Smith.
Hi, Spiffy.
Hey, yo, Smithy. What up? What up, yo?
Losing brain cells. Too many yos.
Yo, Tokas, don't be offended. But yeah, so I don't think you can get in on this PAX Day alpha. But if you know somebody who has a code who isn't using it, like MD, maybe you can get in. But I know the podcast will come out probably this Friday, so switch over to my channel and check out the playthroughs, because there'll be some live playthroughs before Friday, I'm sure.
Well, I'm going to be streaming it pretty much as soon as my child goes down for his nap and after the podcast. So,
Well, it's been awesome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast this week.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Pleasure's on our side.
And to everyone out there, that's it for now. Have fun out there.